There couldn't have been anybody else, not like there aren't. But of course, Otueko Franklin Isong has been very, very diligent with issues around Akwa Ibom as someone who's been around for a while. I mean, not just for just a small while, a short while, for a while, right? A long while. Okay, so Otueko, let's go to the next issue. One of the newspapers, The Eyes precisely, captures a headline that I would like for you to, tell me how you feel about it, if this is truly the situation out there, because sometimes I can be in my enclosure doing my job and I don't know what's going on in the streets, yeah? But The Eyes captures, a very bold headline here of interest, that it says, Umo Eno, anxiety tension mounted at Akwa Ibom with the rider Luke. Other aspirants promise tough battle. I'd like to ask your take. Is there tension out there? Is there anxiety as a result of his emergence?
If there is any tension anywhere, I wouldn't be here. I would either be in my house, or I would like to be to capture the event and also report it as a journalist. I will not be sitting here comfortably, relaxed. Your reporters will be on the street and bring the news. Because you want to bring the news. You want to carry it in your news item that there is a essential crisis. There is none anywhere, Ike. You see, I want to advise my journalists, my fellow journalists and media colleagues that we can play a role in maintaining peace and stability in Akwa Ibom and in Nigeria with our reportage. Of course, you could bend to a slant that you want, perhaps, to make it cashy for you to, get patronage for sales and all those stuff.
But not outrightly sensational.
But the state interest
must be protected.
Should be at the back of your mind as a reporter, as a journalist, as a publisher. That is why I will always advise that there is need for journalists to trade with caution, because at the end of the day, journalists are always being taken as the scapegoat. You always see journalists being arrested, being treated anyhow. At the end of the day, they will be, those you are writing for will not even come to defend you. You'll be arraigned in court and detained and all those things by those anti-democratic elements in government. We've had it in this state where a particular government agent went out and packed all papers, packed them on the streets and dumped it. They raided the press and arrested people and went to court and all those things. Just all those things, all those antics, because of government perceive that the reportage that is coming out on a particular medium is not favorable or is not going to create tension. So the state interest should always be at the back of the mind of every journalist that is reporting any story. Now back to the question of Umo Eno, tension in Akwa Ibom, as Onofiok Luke promised tough battle as reported by the Eyes newspaper. Of course, I have just
not just the Eyes. I also told you I got the Eyes.
Yes, yes. Of course, when I was trying to analyze the undercurrents that accumulated into Pastor Umo Eno's emergence, I mentioned that Right Honorable Onofiok Luke was in the meeting and lifted up his hands to speak, and he wasn't allowed to speak. He came up with a press statement to that effect on his timeline and said that he wasn't allowed to speak, that he is still in the contest. And that is what the press should have reported. But bringing up the slant that there is tension where? I drove from my house to this place. I did not see anybody assembling.
Nobody carrying placards.
I believe you also came from your house as well. I believe I came from her house. And I've not heard. From that day to today is more than 3 days now. I've not seen anybody protesting anywhere. What I want to advise politicians and those who are looking for power, they should go out and consult peacefully. That is why I said that does the emergence of Pastor Umo Eno as the governor's preferred candidate stop other aspirants from contesting? The answer is no. Does it mean that because he has been made the governor's preferred candidate that the PDP will not hold each primaries? The answer still remains no. And therefore, my advice to those other aspirants in PDP is that they should not give up. In fact, they should double their efforts, knowing that they are now battling the governor and his candidate. While the governor too will now know that the test now is between him and the other aspirants. At the end of the day, the PDP delegates will fight behind who they prefer as their candidate.
Don't you think
and when that happens, the person that will emerge becomes the party's candidate.
Let's get something clear, Twicom. Let's discuss a bit of politics. politics. You've been hearing this conversation about governors allegedly controlling the structure of the party in their state. Now, don't you think perhaps the reason why a lot of these contenders or contestants, as the case may be, are scared is because the incumbent is going to deploy heavily everything in favor of the preferred candidate. Some of the persons would have said, okay, if you've anointed him, you've chosen him, do not do anything, leave it there, throw it open, allow for an open contest, don't put anything, just leave it there, and let him test his popularity against us.
Let me help you, I have told you that this is my 24th year as advocate of good governance, and I've followed the political activities of Nigeria for this long. So there's nothing you are going to know how you will twist this question that I will not know where you are heading to. So let me just help you. So just take your breath.
Well, I'm breathing.
In 2007, Umo Eno was a sitting governor, and he brought a candidate that he wanted, Dr. Umo Eno. Umo Eno had the party structure under his watch. Who emerged at the poll, at the election, and the Pdp primaries, who emerged? Umo Eno's candidate lost. Senator Akpabio emerged. At the contest proper, at the re-election proper amongst political parties, the candidates of PDP, whom the sitting governor was not favorably disposed to, also won at the poll. Reportedly, we learned Umo Eno did not support the Akpabio's campaign and was working perhaps with other parties. But what happened? Akpabio still won. Let's step back a little to the southeast. Imo State, Okorocha was a sitting governor. He preferred his son-in-law. What happened? Did his son-in-law win the PDP ticket, the APC ticket? He did not win the APC ticket. Hope won the ticket, and his son-in-law lost the ticket and then moved to AA. I'm giving you what a sitting governor how they suffer it. The son-in-law moved to AA, and then Okorocha remained in APC and worked against Hope Uzodimma. And then what happened? The son-in-law did not also win. Rather, another party, won the ticket, won the seat. Then the Supreme Court later revised it and brought in the APC candidate. So even the party structure cannot be said during these inferences to be tied to the person of the sitting governor, because Umo Eno did not produce his own candidate in his party. Same to Okorocha. Let us move a little to the southwest. Okay. The Lagos State governor then, Ambode, sitting governor, wanted a second term, but he lost the ticket to Sanwo-Olu. Why did he lose the ticket? If he had the party structure under his watch. Back to a little bit, come back to the south side again. In Rivers State, Amechi was the sitting governor. He couldn't produce one that will succeed him. That is why you have Wike after Amechi. And today Amechi can go to the state and drink up and keep water.
He's running Kitty.
That is the truth. So the theory, the perception that a sitting governor controls the party structure of a state and can use the state machinery to overrun his opponent is always, ironically, it is not correct. It is not the faction. It is not the fact.
It is
not
exactly
what plays out at the election.
Okay.
I'm giving you instances from Akwa Ibom down to the southeast, to the south, to the southwest. It has played out the same way that when the people are determined to elect who they want, they will go out and vote who they want. So nobody should try to speculate tension in Akwa Ibom because the governor has chosen who he thinks should replace him. Governor just has a vote, mind you, to cast. And he has a right for who he will vote for. Just like you and I. So nobody should try to calculate that because the governor has made a pronouncement that this is the person that he wants, and that has foreclosed the entire process. It's not done that way. Look at what happened in Ekiti in 2020 when Fayose wanted to bring his deputy to become his successor, Professor Oladipo Aleka. The man lost at the election. He lost at the election because even when he emerged as the Fayose candidate at the election proper, the people went out and voted for who they want. That is why you have the Ekiti state. today having the APC as against the PDP candidate that was the candidate that was Fayoshe's candidate.
Yes.
So there is no need to speculate tension. The governor has picked whom he think should replace him. Let the other aspirants go out there and work, double their effort, consult day and night, and then meet with everybody, because you don't know who could have the last joker to drop at that day, and then the whole thing will just change. Thank God it is all secret ballot. You go, you just vote. Even when you leave the governor today, assuming you don't want this person, you leave his you move down and you go and vote for who you want. In 2015, even when Udom'S emerged, the PDP's candidate, the other aspirant formed what they call G22 and moved to Abuja, stayed 40 days and 40 nights working against Udom'S. But the people still determined to vote for Udom'S. Because what? Because the people have determined. In 2019, what happened? Even when they thought that the APC will take over the state because of the federal might and all those things, people still determined to vote for who they want. So the power rests with the people of the state, not with anybody.
Okay, before we go to the phone lines, because we're almost close to time, the Daily News Wire also captures another interesting headline talking about cabinet reshuffle, which is looming. What's your thoughts about that? Is that not normal? I mean, to every election, because some persons will resign to go and pursue their political ambition.
Nobody was born into office as a cabinet member. Anybody can be sacked, anybody can be replaced, anybody can be in
and also resign.
Anybody can also resign. In fact, for me, it is even the greatest undoing to keep one person in one office for more than a long period of time.
You're talking politics now.
I'm telling you, it is more than it is even a great disservice. Looking at their output. Look at the output. The governor knows who is performing and who is not actually carrying at his duty. Look at the output. I don't want to be the one to mention names of those that should go. But the governor knows. He has a scorecard of all the ministries. They have a retreat in Lagos. They have their ESCO meeting every now and then. He knows the ministries that are dormant. So keeping them honest, keeping them. In fact, there was a time in this country where the president keep on sacking his ministers for lack of what? Effective output, because you are paid to work for the masses. How have you reached out? Today, the governance, the temple of the governance seem lowered. The candle seem lowered. It's as if nothing is happening. In some ministries, go there now, go to the ministry, you won't see the head of the ministries as commissioners. You won't see them there. Some of them are maybe in their private business, and they will just trail in by 4 p.m., by 1 hour, by 5, they are gone. Some don't even go to the ministries. Some stay in their homes, some stay in Lagos, some stay in Abuja. So for me, it is high time for the governor to take charge of the government.
Okay, so this is where we bring you in. Of course, you know that we take time to analyze these issues, dissect them well, so that you understand. So when we open up the phone lines, even if it's just 2, 3, 4, 4 calls or 5 or thereabout that we take, you know you would have been satisfied with the analysis given. 0906 000 4945. That's the first, and the second 09.